Okay, we're moving right along. It's still a little brisk this morning, so it's important we cover this. It's important that we cover this. So I've made the patterns for you. Okay, and this is what we should have covered before we got to the chart that we're working on there with the open boxes. These are the fiddle patterns I've made for you guys and for me to use, and so they have a name. Okay, so this is the fiddle ladder. This is the crooked fiddle ladder, and the reason why it's crooked is because to go up it, we skip every third letter in the word cage. So it's A, G, skip E, D, C, skip A, G, E. It's just like someone walking with a limp or something, you know. So it's the crooked ladder, and here's the pattern. This is a pattern in itself. It's a full pattern. How do you look at this pattern? And of course, this is the long pattern, the S1XL ED. This is the ED shape. We have 7, root, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So what's going on here? Okay, we're back. I've had to take a little break there. So we're going to be covering this chart before we get to the other one. I just didn't recognize it. I'm sorry, I'm kind of out of it today. So these are this is the violin fiddle pattern, and believe it or not, it's so easy. There's a lot about the violin patterns. It's not easy to play a violin. It's not easy to find notes on a little instrument like this. It's not easy to tune it, okay? But and to be in fifths, to go in fifths instead of fourths, when you're used to going in fourths on the guitar, it's not easy. But what is easy is this pattern is a brick wall pattern. Okay, so what we're going to do is learn this pattern. It's the S4XL, but we're going to look at it as if it was the S4L that we know from the E shape on the guitar. Okay, just half step whole, whole step half. And as it turns out, with pentatonics, we can look at, if we look at this is the same, these are the same two guys, and these are the same two, and these are the same two. This is the S4L pentatonic. Notice I didn't call it XL, because in pentatonics, if you look at a whole step in guitar, a whole step, not in guitar, in anything, in guitar or whatever, or guitar or any string instrument. If you in pentatonics, you can look at a whole step as a half step, and then look at a minor third as a whole step. This would be similar to half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, which is exactly what our S4L is on the guitar. Okay, now it wouldn't play out the same way on a guitar if we did that pentatonic on the guitar, because the intervals are different. So it might go the same way, like, okay, and then, you know, we'd have to play our way up. So we use this is for the fiddle because it's in fifths. Now remember, the string shapes go up in fourths, but the notes go up in fifths. So we can look at this as the same as an S4L. It's got the same structure. It's just instead of a whole step, we're going to look at that almost as a half step, and a minor third, we're going to look at that as a whole step. So this is our remember from the beginning of the lesson, that this is our first open fret, our open cage rather. It's a double cage. It's the AG shape on the fiddle. So when we do pentatonic now we're not going to do diatonic. We don't have to go. Okay, that top string's just going to be long and short there. So it's going to be, and then we'll take it down to the 2√6. Okay. So it's got the same shape as that S4L. Let me put that on the screen for you. Okay, so here's our guitar patterns. Our S4L, we should have one. Here's one. When I first made this, it was kind of like this S4L corner up there. If we ever get up there, we can talk about that, but we don't want to have anything to do with patterns that aren't the S2L and the S3L. Then I realized that these patterns are just a group of strings. So S4L is just 4 strings out of a larger pattern. And the open capo scales, okay, those are the long patterns. We don't want to talk about them now. So here's your S2L and your S3L, and the S4L actually, is part of that. So let's just grab our S4L pattern, okay, and get back to the lesson. So we'll just draw it right over here, I guess. Right over Andy. So notice the pentatonic, okay, the S4L is half whole, half whole, whole half, whole half, right? Remember, it's just stack of 4. It doesn't stipulate whether it's these two aliasing and these two aliasing. So this is kind of backwards, but everything's backwards in guitar, right? So it's the same thing though. It's that whole, half, half whole, half whole. So that it's similar. That's why I call it the S4L there. But let's look how to play that now. So that's important about the open AG cage in the violin. Up. That's the fine tuner right here. Okay, so I guess I played it anyway, but I was going to show you how to play it. And I want to show you something about the 7/4 diagonal shape of the S4L. Now we're going back to the diatonic. Dun, 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 dun. But the thing is, once you have that diatonic, and I learned this only recently realized this only recently on the guitar, that no matter what mode you're playing, let's say you're playing in C, we're playing in C, no matter you're doing A minor, okay, you're doing a E minor or a D minor, you can always just play the diatonic over it. Okay, and then something like, so you can play that diatonic, 6-string diatonic in that box over any mode. That's the minors, but also the majors.